The train headed for
Okay, so with that out of the way, I think our next bit of progression is we need to go back to Station Square. Just to verify, though, go to Station Square. You might find something. Yep. Okay. So yeah, like whenever you finish a level and they don't give you like any sort of like idea of where to go next, that's when you could start using the pink knobby lights to find out where exactly you need to go next. Unless you've played this game before, and in that case, you probably know where you're going next. Let's talk to these people here. Hey, it's Sonic. Is it true you saved the entire world? What's happening with Angel Island? I don't know. You have to ask Knuckles about that. I go to the casino every night. The lights are really pretty at nights. Aw, well, I bet that's a beautiful sight to look at. In fact, that could be where we're going next. But before we do, I think there is something else we need to do before that. There's a place somewhere in the city where you can go down the stair. Okay. I'm glad I actually read that first, because yes, there is something you do need to take care of before you do this next part. And I believe this is where you go down in the sewer, but before we do that, I'm going to look for a building I can enter. I think it's this building right here. Actually, it's not this building right here. It's another building. So yeah, there are like different things you can do and different buildings you can enter, but many of them don't really have many things of interest. This one in particular has another emblem, so we're going to go ahead and collect that. And now we're going to, for some reason, jump into a sewer, because that seemed like a good idea to do, I guess. There is definitely a reason for doing this, though. Like, I'm not just doing this to have fun. This is where we'll find an upgrade.
Now you've got light speed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the light speed dash. The light speed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
Okay, so we got the light shoes, or the light speed shoes. Like they said, whenever you find a trail of rings, you can actually use this ability to essentially follow the trail of rings upwards, and that's how you're supposed to get out of here. This is not used a whole lot, but it can be used in some parts of the game, which is why we need to learn it. In fact, I think you actually need to learn it just to access the next level, so it was very important that we did that. In fact, there's actually something else I'm going to do before I progress. We're going to go back to that hotel that we were at earlier. Because if you go upstairs, you can do that light speed dash to get in here and get an upgrade again.
This is the crystal ring. This reduces the time needed to store power for the light speed dash.
So this basically makes the light speed dash take less time. That's basically all it does. Not a very big upgrade, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. And we're going to use that to go in here, because our next level is in here. If the camera will cooperate. Let me actually try something here.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing
Okay,
soon.
so you can use the R and L button and move the camera. I've been trying to use the C stick, but the C stick doesn't really been helping me that much, so I'll try to remember that I have to use the L and R buttons for this. Anyway, we're going to do this now.
Ready, go! Ready, go!
Because this will open the casino, and we have level 3, Casinopolis. This level can be very, very long if you don't know the intended way to do this fast. Because here's the goal. This is the vault. Jump on the switch to deposit your rings. So just to kind of show this off, I guess. This is the vault. There's the Chaos Emerald up there. We can't actually just jump up there or sequence break up there. What we have to do is we have to get rings, and we bring the rings in here, we step on the switch, and we deposit the rings, and we essentially just create a platform of the rings we get to the Chaos Emerald. I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it's like either 300 or 500. Hopefully it's not 500. I don't want to spend all day doing this, but yeah, you need a lot of rings, and in order to get rings, this is the bathroom. I don't want to be in here. We just got here. We don't need to use the bathroom already. We haven't had any drinks yet. But yeah, we need to go here, and we're going to be playing some pinball games. That's right, we have pinball, guys. Is there a way I can control, like, just one flipper at a time, or just... Nope, just one. Okay, then. So yeah, this is basically how you gain rings. You play pinball. The more points you get, obviously you'll get more rings. And that's essentially how this works, is you want to play pinball until you get all the rings you need to deposit your rings in the vault and actually get the Chaos Emerald. That's going to take a long time if we do it this way. Even if we get lucky, it still takes quite a bit of time to do. But I will show off these pinball tables really quickly because this is actually a really cool pinball table. This is based on the Sega game Nights into Dreams, another game that was on... actually, no, it wasn't on the Dreamcast. I think it was on the Sega Saturn. But a very, very beautiful game. It's a game that, like, there's, like, a lot of fans of, a lot of cult fans of, and very, very popular cult classic. I guess that's the best way to describe it. I personally don't know the best way to describe it, but that's essentially what this table is based on. And honestly, it's really cool that it's based on that, because again, it's a game that whenever you think of Sega, you don't think of Knights. You think of Sonic the Hedgehog, you think of, like, Echo the Dolphin, other Sega games of that nature. You don't think of Knights right away if you're, like, a classic Sega fan, but no, if you played the Sega Saturn, and there's not very many people who have done that, by the way, yeah, Knights was another game on that platform, so... on this particular table, you actually play poker with these cards that I'm collecting. And basically, based on the cards you can get bonuses and ring bonuses and stuff of that nature. So that's essentially how this works. I'm only... Oh, okay, here's actually another table. Where you can get cards more quickly. And yeah, again, think of it like poker, is that you're trying to get, like, a good poker hand here. So if you have a certain number of cards and you see another version of your card, you may want to go for that. So, like, I think I just got a... No, okay, I didn't. Oh, actually, no, I did. Okay, I got a 2-pair. Or something. And yeah, you have, like, a little Knights section like this. This is basically what, like, Knights was, just kind of a cinematic treat for the eyes. But yeah, that's basically what this table is. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just fall out of here. I do have a couple of balls left, but I'm going to just waste them away because I don't want to spend too much time here. I've already spent 4 minutes on this pinball table. I want to show, I guess, the intended fast way of doing this. If I can get out of here, anyway. So yeah, after you leave the table, you get thrown out right in front of the vault. Then you go up here, get grabbed by the hand, shakes all the rings out of you. And that's how you start creating the platform to start getting the Chaos Emerald, which we still have a ways to go. So I'm going to show you guys, like I said, the intended way to essentially do this in a very, very quick fashion. We need to find, once again, I'll just go into this one again. There is another pinball table, and I'll show that after I do this next part. But see, we're not even going to try to collect rings here. We're just going to immediately, if we don't... The problem is we might, if stuff like that keeps happening, we might accidentally collect rings here, and that won't really help my points. Sonic, stop collecting rings. I know that's kind of what you do, but that's not what I'm trying to do at the moment. So if you collect very few rings, you actually get tossed into the basement of the casino, which, you know, that might seem like that's a bad thing. Like, why the hell am I in the basement? But, funny thing about the basement, it actually has a lot of rings. And when I say a lot of rings, I mean a lot of rings. Now, you have to be careful while you're doing this, because there are obstacles here, and you can very easily lose your rings in these sections. But there are a lot of rings here, and that's basically my point. So the goal is to essentially get thrown into this section just so you can collect a lot of rings. And that's how you can very, very easily reach your total. I think you have to, like you can't just get all the rings you need in just, like, one run-through of this section. But, as you can see, there's, like, a lot of different paths you can take. So you can make up, like, a lot of ground by going through here multiple times. The only thing is, like, remember, you will get rid of a lot of rings from the get-go. So, like, these rings that are just kind of staying on the ground, yeah, we will already have these, and, won't have them later. See, thankfully we got the invincibility power up here. Okay, I got stuck right there, so I got kind of scared that I'd have to do this again. But thankfully we're alright. And look, we're in the bathroom. We came up from the sewers. We went through the basement, kind of went through the sewers there for a bit, and now we're back in the bathroom. Look, we can even take a shower if we really want. Oh. Sonic! No! Now's not the time. We have emeralds to collect. Speaking of which, we should probably check in on that emerald to see if we're close enough to it yet. We have over 300 at this point, but again, it could be 500. I honestly do not remember the exact number offhand. Oh no, that should be enough. I say, as I'm incorrect, we actually need some more. So I'll go ahead and show off the other table now. But yeah, like, this takes a very long time. So, like, what the game really wants you to do is go down to the sewers, get as many rings as possible, maybe even do a second run if you want, and then just make up the difference to these pinball tables if you really want to. As you can see, I'm not exactly getting into the pinball table here. I'm also tilting the table a lot. I'm very weird when it comes to pinball games. Like, I like pinball games, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, it's kind of one of those, I don't think... Ring 3K. Yes! The best bonus in the game. It's actually not, but still. Puddle Plains joke is basically what I'm getting at there. But yeah, like, I like the idea of pinball, but there's, like, a lot of these, like, tilting techniques and just techniques you can use with the flippers here that, like, I just am not very familiar with. Like, I obviously haven't, like, I haven't trained in the art of pinball, so I don't know these things. But, it would be interesting to kind of figure out how to play pinball. It's just, I don't know if I'd ever have, like, a good time to learn how. Shining K? We got the Shining K of Knuckles, I guess? Okay, I think we have enough to finish. Because we had 354, we'll have over 500 after this, so this should be enough. It's kind of funny, in Genesis Sonic, we'd actually be dying right about here because of the 9:59 time limit that you normally have for Sonic levels, but in 3D Sonic games, they actually kind of eliminate that, at least in the adventure titles anyway, so it allows you to kind of spend more time in levels like these that might be just either taking you a lot to get through, or they're just made in a way where you can't really do them fast.
Yeah, not bad.
So yeah, there we go. That's Casinopolis. Hope you guys enjoyed the madness that is that stage. It looks like we have another key there, too.
Yeah. Hey. Oh no, the Chaos Emerald.
Oh, no, you don't!
Oh, jeez. Eggman.
Guys, Eggman just gassed us. That's not cool. That's really not cool.
Oh man, what happened to that emerald we just had?
I guess Eggman's got one of them, but the other one's safe. That guy must be desperate.
That means his 2 to our 1, and that's not good. Come on, Sonic, we need to get busy.
Yeah, we do. Also, Cream the Rabbit. That was Cream the Rabbit that you saw in the background there.
The train from the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
I want to say this is her first appearance. Like, I think she was appearing in this game to later appear in Sonic Advance 2. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe Sonic Advance 2 came out and they're just making a cameo here. Regardless, not Cream's first playable appearance, but the first time I saw Cream the Rabbit. Again, when I get to the Sonic Advance series, I'll talk more about her. Or even when I get to Sonic Heroes, I'll talk more about her because she's in that game as well. But yeah, another Sonic character. A little cameo in the distance there. So we're going to take this key that we found. And whenever we see a key like this, we should be getting the hint that it wants us to go to the Mystic Ruins. And that is exactly where we're going to go. Even the little cave here will break open to show us this is the path we want to get to. And we're going to be using this to get to the next level. But yeah, I find it weird how Eggman, like, we were unconscious. Like, Eggman could have just, like, stole the other emerald, too. Like, he probably knew that we had another one. But maybe, maybe he just saw that we had that one, and maybe he just, like, decided to go for that, not realizing we had the other one. Kind of sucks that it was that one, because we spent all that time, 10 minutes getting it, but... you know, it is what it is, I suppose. I guess before I go to this next level, there is one thing I want to show off here. Again, I'm trying to get used to this camera. Oh, I can't show it off. Never mind. we'll see it later. We'll definitely see it later. But a little little reference to a good old favorite game of mine that I may have already mentioned in this playthrough already. So anyway, we're going to climb up this ladder, and we're going to enter Ice Cap. Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3? Huh. That's interesting. Although, I don't know, it did just say Ice Cap. It didn't say Ice Cap Zone. So, to be fair, it may not be the Ice Cap, but it is an Ice Cap.
Hang on to the icicle
I
and
suppose.
jump. You should be able to jump fast.
Also, this level's weird. I'm not a really big fan of this level. I'm not a big fan of Casinopolis either. I don't know if you guys got that, but yeah, not a big fan of Casinopolis. Especially when it comes to, like, when you want to 100% this game. That's when Casinopolis gets a little, eh. been annoying. But again, we'll cover that later when I actually make the decision of what I want to do for the 100% completion of this project. Because yes, you guys know me, I'm SlimKirby. I like 100%ing games when I can. So if there's a way I can do it, I'm going to try to do it. So just be prepared for that. It may not be like immediately, but at some point in this playthrough, I will have all the emblems in this game. Just, I'm warning you guys now, that's going to happen. I don't know how, it's going to happen. But yeah, like, I don't know, this... I guess the first part of this level is kind of interesting, but I feel like the second half is not really bad. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like the level kind of ends and kind of does its own other thing, I guess. Which I found kind of weird, but I don't know, maybe some people like that. Also, the icicle platforming is not really a lot of fun. Kind of a weird thing to do. I kind of really only did it to show it off. I think there is a way you can kind of skip that. If you, instead of falling down in the room, if you kind of do like a spin dash and then jump like that to jump to another area. Because, yeah, you can really do that to skip, like, really huge chunks of certain levels. It's something that I'll probably be doing a lot more when I get to the 100% portion of this game. What the hell is... Did that just take me back to the beginning of the room? Oh my god, it did. Wow. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna not do icicle platforming if I can avoid it. Come on, game. See, this is why I, like, and again, like, I mean, this may just be coincidence as of right now, like, when I get to the SA2 playthrough, this could probably also happen there as well, but it's just like, I feel like in SA2, that kind of stuff wouldn't be happening. Like, it's just a more, it's a platforming experience that just feels a lot better than this game. I do like it, like what they have done for what's supposedly the first time they move on to this 3D Sonic style, but, it can be a little frustrating at times, admittedly.
Be careful not to fall off.
And that was really risky doing that. I'm glad I did not fall off. That would have been pretty bad if I did, honestly. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. Boom. Ouch. Okay, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I think it is. So we're just going to leave this area and hopefully never come back to it. So, you know what it wouldn't be? This would not be Ice Cap without a little snowboarding. So yeah, this is basically what the second half of Ice Cap is, where quite literally you snowboard. Because Sonic is great, guys. It's really, really great. Honestly, like, I don't think this is that bad. I think it's better when it moves to this first-person view. Or, like, behind view, not first-person. If it was first-person, we wouldn't be seeing Sonic. This is more of a third-person view. But a third-person view from behind. I don't like when they kind of do the running towards the screen, because it's just like you can't see what's in front of you. I find that so annoying when games do that. It's just like, what if you have to make a split-second jump? Thankfully, I think that section's pretty free, so you don't have to worry about that, but what if? What if, you know? I think Crash Bandicoot does it okay, but still. I wouldn't want to do it if I didn't have to, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys were brushing up on your SS Tricky, or SSX Tricky, because we got some awesome snowboarding action now. Don't know all the names of all the different types of tricks you can do on a snowboard. Man, I feel like doing snowboarding would be like really, really, especially on a mountain like this. Like, just imagine like the, man, I'd be scared out of my mind doing this, to be quite honest. But we're actually at the end now, and hey, look, a Chaos Emerald.
Yes.
How convenient there was one just kind of laying at the bottom of this snowy mountain while an avalanche is coming. You know, honestly, if we let the avalanche happen,
Not bad.
the Chaos Emerald would just be buried, and then Eggman would never find it. It'd be pretty safe, honestly. We should have let the avalanche win. I feel like that's kind of what we should have done. Like, we should have just let the avalanche just do its thing. Then that way our lives would be a lot easier. We didn't have to worry about Eggman doing anything evil for the rest of the game. So I think, can we actually... No, we still can't. Okay. There's something I really want to show off to you guys, but I can't because the game won't let me. It won't let me progress to do that.